Do you all remember Platinumpool Crystals? Well, it's been some time since we've seen them, and definitely missing them. Where the hell are they? Valkyrie and Gorr confirmed for next month, it seems, based on some Twitter images by Kabam. Where are Carinas Challenges? We'll have an update on that in this show. And the game is very laggy still. What are Kabam doing about it? And much, much more. Yes, hello everybody. Welcome back to an MCN. It's been a little while. I didn't post an MCN last Friday because I was on vacation. I actually just got back from vacation. Lots to catch up on. Also, there's stuff that's going good and going meh when it comes to the game. Of course, let's delve into it in this particular show. But in order to crown the MCN and its return, make sure to hit the like button for this, support the channel. That would be most handy if you could do that. Subscribing's free, please subscribe. Try and push to 70,000 subscribers if we can this year. Or come at least very close to that. Okay, so let's kick off with the show. And the show begins with AQ not opening. Last night it seemed to be, and it seems that over the last week there's been some cases where people have not been able to enter AQ. The reasons are very much unknown. A lot of the players that reached out to me and said I can't get into AQ are now somewhat able to join it, but it definitely was a bit of a weird thing. All of a sudden that people weren't able to access, especially from some people saying that maps 2, 3 and 4 are not working. Someone saying map 5's not working. But then there's other cases where people were still able to access certain types of maps. This player here saying, the watcher says that we are playing map 6 and it's working for us. So it's a very much kind of like old situation of one person may not be able to join at times, but then others are able to. So I don't really know. Hopefully Kabam can like delve into this and have a look at what's the consistency elements of people being able to access it. But yeah, very weird bug for players. Next up, when we take a trip down memory lane, okay? It's always nice to return back to memory lane of old things of the past. Platinumpool Crystals. Does anybody remember Platinumpool Crystals? The ones where I think back in, it was either June you had to do incursions, or there was the special, no, I think there was a special quest. I think incursions was November time. But back in May, I think it's late May, June time, you were able to access some of the Platinumpool Crystals. And I know someone said that it may be about the 24th of June, something about 2 weeks before July 4th deal. So let's face it, Kabam aren't rolling out this. There'll be a big surprise if this week the Platinumpool type events kind of came back again and we had this opportunity to pick up some of the delights. As you can see, what Titan Z has kind of like put back on June 3rd, 2021, where there was the 6-star opportunity to get a Platinumpool champion and 270 units. But obviously you could get like exponential amounts of units with it, and it was very exciting. It's been some time, especially with November, I think the last time that they did Platinumpool Crystals, and there's really weird crystals that looked a bit like, well, prophylactics. But, you know, that's what they looked at. They looked like, you know, Kabam made them look weird. In any case, it's just something that I think it would be nice to see. We've gone for a very kind of like dull month in MCOC where it's just nice to have those little things. Like the way that we had the Scarlet Witch Sigil Arena. That was a welcome surprise. It's just having these nice little surprises, nice little kind of like random arenas once a month. It just makes the, you know, MCOC that little bit more spicier. It's kind of that little kind of like peak of excitement in a very much kind of like, well, nothing's happening. Especially at a time when, you know, Act 8.1 has not been released. And we all hope that's going to be either released next month. But let's be kind of like realistic here. I doubt it's going to be out until about August time. But I love to be surprised with these things and always expect the unexpected. So yeah, if anybody remembers these delightful crystals and the remnants, what's in them, then that would be great to see them return back in it. Let's now move on to the game is buggy and the game is laggy. Let's face it, most games and games developers themselves have servers running in different locations, like, you know, Call of Duty Warzone, World of Tanks. They've got specific types of servers, an NA, European, Asian server. They have multiple servers, okay? I don't think Marvel Contest of Champions has anything in Europe, and if they did have anything in Asia, they've probably removed it. But let's face it, performance is key when it comes to this game. And one of the big things that I've noticed, especially in the last week, I'm going for an intense unit grind to get the last little bits. It's a bit of there's a challenge I'm doing. In a video today, there's the second video for today, I'm talking about a challenge. And why this is relevant to this particular topic is that I will have to grind out a lot of arena. Now, going from arena to arena, or kind of series to series, streak to streak, when it comes to playing MCOC, you need that cool, crisp connection that just gets you boom, boom, boom into the next fights. Is that currently in the game? No, it is not. It is not there. The amount of times I've seen swirly whirlies and the connection problems or connection issues pop up, it's just annoying. Especially in a game that requires, especially when it comes to an arena standpoint, you got to be quick, you got to be fast, you got to get it done. Especially when it comes to things like Legends runs, but let's face it, Legends runs aren't really kind of cracked up to be what they are anymore. But in any case, the point is, what are Kabam planning to do about it? And it is still something that Kabam are aware of, which is good. But there doesn't seem to be an end in sight. And let's face it, we all want to be able to play this game in a smooth fashion. We've had compensation come out for that, and that's going to be something we're going to go into as a part 2 to this particular section. So Kabam Civic says, a couple of days ago, the team is aware that some are experiencing these issues and are working on a fix. How? So they're fixing an issue for some. No, fixing an issue for all. The part 2 to this is that we have had some sort of compensation package for what has been the last year of problems. And as I said, this could be something that, and when Kabam are saying some, it may be a case that they can't admit to the fact that, or they don't want to admit to the fact, or don't want to give people the realization that some people out of, say, North American servers aren't able to get a more smoother running of the game because of server interaction, lag between where you are in the world and where the servers are. I don't know, that would just be basically doing an assumption based on that. Because look, we've got to face it, does everybody get the same experience of the game worldwide? Again, I doubt it. I really doubt it, especially, you know, with certain elements of ping, and does the game go local at certain points? Again, further kind of like dissection, tinfoil hat type stuff. In any case, what are Kabam investigating and improving? So, suspension of the game results in input issues. Okay. Champions completing attacks after being interrupted by an SP3. Okay. Ongoing investigations and improvements to dropping inputs during combos. Good. Investigating inconsistencies between mid-screen threshold swiping. Improving tools for identifying when issues occur mid-fight. Issues surrounding lag building over time encountering after version 36.1. So this is all important stuff that Kabam are looking to kind of like deal with to improve the game. It's also a very big, as I've always said, like if you go to any other game and a mobile game that requires touch, swipe, all that kind of stuff, other games are able to do so much better and keep consistency, whereas MCOC can't. It's really suffered from the last year, especially with the problems they've had with the game engine that they've used, right? It's very strange playing Mirrorverse and kind of going, oh, right, you know, when you move things on the screen and you tap something, it works. So I don't know how they created one game to the other, and was it more kind of like a different build to it and it's more easier to kind of construct something that's better responsive, or is this going to be the state of affairs which you see in 7 years' time for Mirrorverse when something goes wrong like this? It's fascinating, but at the same time it's very frustrating for a player base that want to have a nice running consistency when you tap swipe on the screen that it works. But yeah, we'll be kind of seeing how well Kabam do in the further updates that come out for the game, especially you know, 36.1, because it says here issues surrounding lag building over time encountering after version 36.1. So that's one of the key things in this particular bit of coverage that, you know, we'd like to see them improve. On to Carinas Challenges now. Now, one Carinas Challenge I really want to see come back. Well, I want all of them to come back as quickly as possible, especially for the Act 6. But one in particular that's important to me and is important to kind of like getting up to Paragon is Revolution. I need that back in order to get myself a better chunk of, I think it's tier 6 basic for that one. But in any case, whatever, I need it to become Paragon. And it's been something a lot of players have been asking the question of. These particular Carinas Challenges were taken down And when will they come back? That's the main thing that kind of like people have asked, because it has been temporarily taken down, and people have asked throughout June. And most recently, a response from Kabam on the matter is that Kabam Jax, who's been doing some great work with getting information to the community, shout out to Kabam Jax, the dev team is still working on bringing back Carinas Challenges for Act 6. The timeline I have not is not set in stone, but it looks like we're aiming for late July, early August. So that's actually kind of a lot longer than I was kind of hoping. It might even mean that I'll have to possibly do an Abyss one of the challenges, which I don't really enjoy. I find Abyss and Labyrinth quite boring, just the length of time you have to kind of invest into it, and because I have a life. But look, let's face it, needs must when it comes to non-spending and wanting to get the stuff. So you might have to kind of like do something that you don't particularly like, and I have to do a lot of the time with the MCOC, do stuff I don't particularly like. Yeah, but as always, times shift. As I receive more info, I'll continue to update you. So yeah, there's still kind of like more info to come. Looks to me that there'll be the same challenge. As the fog in the crystal ball clears, it clarified to take this to grain of salt for now. So it looks like that it may not indeed change from how it was. It's just a case of you, as soon as you go to the use champion or kind of like choose champion, it's just a case of you to skip. So they're just making sure that it kind of like it works rather than it doesn't. But in any case, yeah, I'm sure we'll find out more soon. That's the update on the situation. But next month, later, or August, or never, we'll have to see. And now on to an important story, and that is, it looks like we have confirmed Valkyrie and Gorr, the God Butcher, for July. Let's face it, a lot of us even kind of like knew this was going to happen. It makes total sense for these characters to be introduced into the game, and it falls in well with what's going on. How do we know this is confirmed? Well, first of all, this sword is the sword that was used by Gorr the God Butcher's Christian Bale version. It's exactly the same as the one in the trailers. The Valkyrie swords, though, kind of look, and look, let's face it, look at this image right here. It's the exact same knife. This is taken from Valkyrie in Thor: Love and Thunder, in the fight scene in, oh god, and it's where Zeus is. Is it the Pantheon? I can't remember what it is. It's going to like come to me right at the most ridiculous time. It's going to like trigger me a bit. But yeah, like that is the exact same design. I mean, just right there. Like it's exactly the same. So it's pretty much confirming. I mean, last month as well, we said that like there was, I think I did a video about like there's a Pride like thing that was created which had Valkyrie there in her garb. That was Love and Thunder version. So let's face it, we knew that this was going to come into the game. It makes total sense. It is what it is. And now we end the show on and on to our final story, which is arena results for Namor and Korg. Let's see how it ended. Now, before we get started, just to like forewarn, I forgot to put the image of getting results on Twitter and the community tab until today. So I've not got a huge amount of results, but people were very quick to put in stuff. So shout out to everybody in the Discord and also on Twitter and on the community tab. We got some info, so we can make predictions on stuff. So Namor, the result that I've got is 59 position, 52.5 mil. That got the 6-star. We've got at least 15.4 mil. The lowest I can find doing 248, and that got the 5-star version. To be honest, I think you could probably get a very kind of low cutoff on Namor on the round 2. I put in my Summoner Trials, which is 3.2 mil for 11 to 25%. Position, Korg, position 204, got the 5-star at 59.3. And I can imagine that that 6-star is going to be a lot lower than you might think with it. 20.5 mil, got position 551, so just narrowly missing out. So my predictions for round 2, and do bear in mind I didn't properly do predictions for round 1, so I haven't really kind of prepared myself for this. But 6-star Namor, 48 mil, I think that's probably in keeping with the result there. 5-star Namor, 14 mil, makes sense against that, but less is probably kind of more for getting. 6-star Korg, 80 mil, and to be honest, you could probably downgrade that to at least like a 70 mil, but it's a case, it's down to a risk factor with that. And 5-star Korg, 35 mil, based off of that 20.5. It could even be in case it's a little bit lower. I do stress though that it is important that if you are looking to do the Revolution Carinas Challenge when it returns, then make sure to go and grab the Korg, and that would be helpful for you. Just before we end the show, I want to give a massive thank you to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a patron. You're on screen right now. Thank you very much for keeping the love and support. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live. I'm going to be doing my unit grind challenge, more on that in the next video, and I will be doing some Twitch streams today, playing a little bit of Fall Guys, and obviously we'll be doing Warzone, and I might even do some Mirrorverse. Why not? I'll just kind of like throw everything into the mix, and we'll just play some games. Thanks again for watching the show, and we'll see you in the next video, and lots more content coming this week, especially new update info, all that stuff towards the latter point of the week. Let's go!